So you're thinking about moving to Bend and you want to learn more about what the perfect winter day as a Bendite is all about. Well, two 30-year veterans right here, we're going to put our heads together and come up with the perfect day of what living in Bend is all about in the middle of January. So if this video sounds like it's for you, stick around. We're going to be getting after this perfect day right now.
If this is your first time on the channel and you'd like to know everything there is to know about living, eating, sleeping, playing, the good and the bad, Bend, Oregon, Redmond, La Pine, Sister, Sun River, anywhere in Central Oregon, subscribe to the channel, tap the bell for notifications so you can be the first to know about what's going on here in Central Oregon. My name is Zach Nutter. This is Ryan Rudloff, both licensed brokers with eXp Realty, and we have lived in Bend for over 30 years and we absolutely love it. So whether you're looking to move in 9 days or 90 days, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email. We'd love to help you make a smooth move here to Bend. So with that being said, we are going to talk about what our perfect day looks like here in Bend in the wintertime. I'll let you start, Ryan. What if you're starting your day off? What time are you starting and what are you doing first thing on a January day? This is a perfect day scenario, right? We're usually busy up working, but what are you doing if it's your perfect day here in Bend?
Perfect day, January. Well, it's usually sunny outside. I typically get up. It's probably going to be around the typical time, whether it's a work day or not. Probably around 5:30 or 6 in the morning. I know I'll have my cup of coffee, probably from like Sister's Coffee or maybe Thump Coffee, something along those lines. I'll just have it at home. I buy the beans and make it at home, sip the coffee, get ready for the day when the sun comes up. Sometimes we get to see the sun rise too, because it comes up this time of year, probably around 7:30-ish in that range. So sometimes the sunrises are just as spectacular as the sunsets around here. And so that's something to definitely enjoy. But in the wintertime, it's all about outdoor recreation, snow activities. I love to ski, so I would probably get a bite to eat at one of the local bakeries, like maybe Sister's Bakery or the one over here in the old mill or the Northwest Crossing. What's that one called?
That is Sparrow Bakery.
Sparrow Bakery, yeah, right.
Ocean roll.
Ocean roll.
You don't eat carbohydrates.
Grab myself, well, if I'm going up to get on one of the first 2 or 3 chairs in the morning, I'm gonna have a need to get some energy inside of me. So I'm gonna eat a ocean roll, head up to the mountain. Takes about 20 to 25 minutes depending on the traffic. Hop on the lifts up there, Pine Martin, Skyliner, sunrise, maybe head over to the north side of the mountain and zip over to Northwest Express as well as Outback, enjoy a couple of turns up there, and then maybe head down at about 11 o'clock. After 3 hours or so, the mountain typically opens at 8 o'clock in the morning, and I would probably go to a popular lunch spot. I'm thinking somewhere in the Old Mill district, where we're actually strolling through the Old Mill right now alongside the river. So there are plentiful options right here in the Old Mill area, or maybe somewhere on the west side. And I'd get lunch, maybe brunch at like a Victorian cafe, or maybe like McKay Cottage or Chow, somewhere. Something like that would be basically the first half of my day in the wintertime. Zach,
Okay.
what sounds good to you?
Sounds great. So I'm gonna wake up, I'm gonna watch the sunrise somewhere in town. You can go up to the Butte, there's some places on Aubrey you can see it, but I'm gonna find somewhere and I'm gonna watch the sunrise. Then I'm gonna hit the river trail, which is probably my favorite place. We're kind of walking on an extension of the river trail here. I like going in the section just to the south of us that actually takes you out in the forest. It's about a 3-mile loop, so we're gonna go there. We're gonna hit a breakfast at, I would say, probably like the Victorian Cafe, the D&D, maybe the Lemon Tree. All amazing places to grab breakfast. And then we're gonna head, where are we going after that? Then I think we're gonna go tow our snowmobiles. This is a perfect day. We no longer have snowmobiles, but it's our perfect day. We're gonna take snowmobiles, probably out to Dutchman's, ride all the way out to Elk Lake. We're gonna have lunch at Elk Lake.
Oh, wow.
Because Elk Lake is one of the most beautiful areas. They've got this awesome lodge. And then we're gonna whip around there for a couple hours and head back to Bend. So that's the perfect start to my day. What are you doing after lunch?
After lunch, I'm probably gonna go for a walk, to be honest. I'll probably hike up Pilot Butte, or maybe do like the First Street Rapids, something like that. I'll take Danielle and we'll go for a walk outside. Hopefully it's sunny. It would be if it's a perfect day, but like kind of like right now, we're in mid-January and there's people all out and about the old mill right now. They're traversing, they're strolling, they're zipping around this area. We're right on the river right now. It's mid-January. The sun's out, it's probably 45 degrees, and there's still people out enjoying what we have right here next to the river. I would do something along those lines, at least for an hour or two. I like to be outside, like to be active, like to be moving as much as I possibly can. That would probably take me up until about the 3 o'clock hour or so. And from there, it would just be time to prepare for the evening activities, and we'd have some sort of dinner plan. We'd go to just some spectacular restaurant that we have here in Bend. It could be here in the Old Mill District, it could be downtown, it could be on the west side somewhere, it could be on the east side. Who knows? There's great restaurants all over town, but most of the noteworthy restaurants are going to be in the downtown area, whether it's Boss Torres or 900 Wall or Zydeco, or it could be right here in the Old Mill. It could be Lady Bird, it could be Greg's Grill, it could be Anthony's on the river. The options are plentiful, so I would basically prepare for where we would go to dinner ahead of time, and we would just plan a great night out on the town.
So when we get back from sledding around on the snowmobiles, we're gonna come back to the old mill, probably do some light shopping. And then about that time, it's gonna be time for us to head up the butte and watch the sunset. So right over the Cascade Mountains, the sunset's right over our mountain range here. It's one of the most beautiful sights. This morning I actually traversed up that hill and watched the sunrise. It's amazing how many people love to do the same thing. It's one of the best outdoor activities here, and then the fact that it's such an amazing place to watch the sunset. Head back into town, probably set up dinner reservations at like a Boss Torres or one of the biggest staples of Bend, which is the Chutes Brewery. Have a wonderful dinner with my wife, and then I think we'd bop over to McMenamins. So we have this really cool, there's a lot of them in the Pacific Northwest. They're McMenamins, and they repurposed old buildings, whether they're schools or churches or all kinds of different things, and they've made them into these really cool restaurants with fire pits and cigar bars and hidden rooms and movie theaters. So probably catch a movie. They've got nice sofas. They'll serve you food and beer. So we're gonna hit that, and then they've got a great soaking tub that the ceiling's open. So if it's snowing outside, you get some snow coming through. Absolutely wonderful experience, and that'd probably cap my night off. Sounds like a wonderful day in Bend.
Yeah, it's a perfect day right there for me as well. We'd probably finish up dinner at 8 o'clock, maybe 9, maybe go to another bar or two within the downtown or Old Mill area as a nightcap, but then just call it a night because I'm getting kind of old. So is Zach, and we just don't burn the town down like we used to.
Go ahead.
We just saw some people zip by on electric bikes. That would be a feature of a perfect summer day. But even in the wintertime, there are days when you can actually be on your bike or your e-bike, which are really popular around here right now, even in the wintertime. So there's a lot of people out right now. It's pretty cool to see.
Where we're walking by right now in the summer, you will see thousands of people floating.
Yep.
This is our Whitewater Park over here.
Whitewater Park. Yeah, you can surf and bend.
Yeah, it's got a surfing little spot. It's got an area where you can pass through on your inner tube. Very popular area. This would definitely make a top activity in the summertime of my list of a perfect summer day. Maybe we'll knock that out come June. But this is just an amazing area. A good part of Bend, you can along the river. A good part of Bend, you can stroll along the river. It's so peaceful. If you've got a little bit of extra time on your lunch, if you're here visiting, if it's the weekend or you got a day off, it's just a peaceful thing to do, to just stroll along the river and relax, listen to the sound of the water moving through here. It gets very rough in areas, and then there's areas where it's very mellow. But it's a fun river. It's great to have right in the middle of town. But yeah, I kind of want to go experience this perfect winter day in Bend now.
It sounds pretty good. Do you have your sleds all tuned up and ready to take up to Elk Lake?
So you actually can rent snowmobiles, several different places in town that you can rent snowmobiles from. So that's not a problem. No, I no longer own my own sleds. Do you have your skis waxed?
I'd have to dust them off, I think.
I don't think your size 4 junior boots are gonna fit you anymore. When was the last time you were at the mountain?
I haven't been up to the mountain yet this year because the snow's actually been kind of slow, but that's neither here nor there. We're not going to talk about that right now because we're enjoying the fact that it's nice outside without the snow, and that's what we've been driving home in these videos lately. But the mountain is open and it's fantastic like it always is.
So the mountain, they actually have, I don't go to Mount Bachelor, I haven't in a long time. I've actually talked to my wife about this a lot. I want to get back into going to the mountain. Haven't been there often since I was a kid, but I want to start enjoying that part of our town again. But I believe they have machines that actually produce snow when we're having winters like this.
They do.
Correct? Okay.
Yeah, they've got some snow machines on like certain like really popular stretches, like on Pine Martin or maybe Skyliner as well. But they try to get that thing open around Thanksgiving time every year, and they usually do. There's two other smaller like ski hills in our area, Willamette Pass and Hoodoo, and they're at much lower elevations. And unfortunately for them, they are basically at the heels of what Mother Nature has in store. And so Mount Bachelor can open pretty much on time every year, but the other two smaller hills, a lot of people from Eugene will come over to those two different little ski hills, and they sometimes can't even open until January or February, and sometimes they can't even open at all, which is really unfortunate for them. But it's all based on what kind of snow we get.
Did you know that the inner tubing hill on Mount Bachelor's closed now?
No, I did not.
I was going to take my nephews there when they were in town, and they closed it. So there used to be an inner tubing hill where you'd hook onto the rope and it'd pull you up the hill, and then you could tube down if you're like me and not very well versed in skiing or snowboarding at this part of life. But that's not there anymore.
That's a bummer. That's one of those things too. It's like we've lived in Bend for 30 years and we have this huge ski hill right up the hill, 20 miles away, and yet we were. Zach's a wrestler, I'm a basketball player. We played a lot of winter sports when we were in school, and so it kind of prevented us from being able to really sink our teeth into being like local skiers, but we have it just right up there. And so a lot of people that have been here for a long time, they're not necessarily ski type people, and they have this right there, but we take it for granted sometimes. And that's one of the drawbacks of being such a long time resident of this area, is there's so many things that people relocate here for that we otherwise take for granted.
What are some of the other things that you think that we take for granted that a lot of other people enjoy about this area?
I have gotten really good about going for hikes in new locations, new trails and things that places I've never been before, but that was kind of something that I did for a while. I took that for granted. Sometimes we take the sunshine for granted. Fishing, I don't do enough fishing, that's for sure. There's so many places to fish in this area, whether it's on the river or whether it's at one of our hundreds of lakes where it's just fantastic. So that's another thing that comes to mind. What about you?
Yeah, I would say probably the fishing. We talked about the skiing already. In the summertime, probably floating the river.
Yeah.
Just not something I do much of. All the festivals that we have. The music is something that I've definitely gotten more into, where we're trying to go to as many concerts as we possibly
for
can.
Sure.
But yeah, it's one of those things where there's so much to do here. The Tower Theater, they always have cool events and stuff at the Tower that I never hear about until my buddies tell me how great this show was that they went to.
Right.
A lot of comedy shows in town, different stuff like that. Just enjoying some of the tourism stuff that's here that we just don't seem to take advantage of.
Even the schematics of like the neighborhood layouts, like we were just at the old Mill District, right? Very popular commercial area. Then we've kind of zipped over here after about a 15-minute walk, and now we're in this neighborhood. We did a video on this actual stretch of the river. Right now we're about to cross a footbridge, but we'll link a card to that video right now, so you guys can go over and watch that if you want to about this particular neighborhood. But we're just a little ways off of the old mill, and here we are in the Old Bend neighborhood with all these awesome homes that are right along the river here. This is kind of the stretch of the river where the thousands of people per day in the summertime will float underneath this bridge that we're on and go from the old mill area all the way down to the Drake Park area. And it's truly a spectacular scene. Even if you're not floating, it's pretty cool to just people watch and just look at all the people floating on the river at one time.
Yeah, it's a pretty amazing spot. Some of these houses over here have docks. Some of them have full setups. One of them over there has like a canopy with a bed in the summertime where people, I think, they either take naps over there or which way are we going?
Let's pan over and show them.
Yeah, show them.
But yeah, you guys can see right behind all those homes and the docks right there on the river. It's pretty neat.
You'll see a mix of homes, right? There's a $2 million home there, and that home, the little house right there, is probably worth at least $1 million just because of the property. Maybe 1, 2, 1, 5. And then you see some of these, they get up to $4 million on this stretch of the river, just because it's such a unique piece of property here in Bend that you just don't find many places.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So now we're on the west side of the river, and again, like this, where we're at to our left is going to be similar style homes, but a very unique mix. Okay, we're close to the old mill. This is kind of like the southern crossing area now. We just, on the other side of the river, we just crossed that bridge. That's Old Bend. Now we're in southern crossing, but that's something else I think we take for granted, is that we'll go travel to other cities or towns and stuff like that, and they don't necessarily have such a unique characteristic style of neighborhoods going back to back to back, etc.
Now we're really close to the 14th Street corridor, to the whole industrial district that's right over there. We're really close to the Deschutes Brewery manufacturing facility, the actual brewery. You've got Columbia Park right here. It's really cool how you can get all around this area without the use of a car really easily. But it's just a beautiful place to go out and get outdoors and cruise around. And a lot of older homes in this area, but a lot of them have been torn down, and you find beautiful multi-million-dollar homes around here.
Yeah, for sure. That's just something I love about Bend too. It's just the way it's evolved over the course of the last 30 years. And even before that, when I arrived, it was 1992, and it was still a mill town. The old mill was the mill. That's where the logs were, and that's where the manufacturing facilities were, kind of blue collar. And then it's really grown up since then. And so we've got all these new people that have kind of joined us, and it's made Bend what it is. It's a really cool place.
So I hope you guys enjoyed our idea of the best possible winter day. Sorry, the ground's a little uneven here. Ryan and I almost both went down. But this is how we would view a perfect day here in Bend in the winter time. We'll probably do this for the spring, summer, fall, because all seasons have different stuff to do around here. So we hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, comments, videos you'd like to see us shoot, reach out to us. Leave us a comment, shoot us a text, send us an email, give us a phone call, schedule a Zoom meeting on our calendar link. We'd love to talk to you guys.
Absolutely. We're gearing up for the spring transaction season, so it's going to be pretty interesting. When it's your guys' time, please do reach out. It starts with you. But until then, thanks for watching, and we will see you guys on the next video.
Have a great day, guys.